you can start the meeting.
Oh, I'm still the chair.
You are? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but you still are.
Okay.
We're starting the new year off strong.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'd like to say a little prayer before we do it. Oh, gracious Father, we come today with the Affirmative Action Advisory Commission. And let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be extremely good in your sight. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so we'll start the meeting. Everybody got the minutes from March. We hadn't been here since March 2nd, 2023.
Wow. Not with a quorum, yeah. This is the first time with a quorum, so,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. And first on the agenda, have all of y'all seen the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So can I get a motion to accept the minutes as printed?
I so move.
Second.
It's been moved by
His name, Malavika.
Malavika.
I don't expect you.
Okay, and approved by
Troy.
Troy Farley. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, and the motion is carried. So now we go to our new business, and it's the hiring update.
So let me just talk a little bit about what's been going on.
Okay.
I've been, for the last couple meetings that we had, not with a quorum, but I was able to provide some updates on police officer, because you know that's near and dear to my heart. Wanted to share these 7 individuals, and you can pass this around, were the last 7 that we hired, 7 new police officers for Davenport. They reported to the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy on Tuesday of this week, so they are beginning their 16-week journey. 16 weeks, yeah, so they graduate in April. Very happy with this bunch, a lot of perseverance, especially with our open process. We had some individuals that maybe didn't pass the physical ability testing the first time or the written exam the first time, but because we had an open process, they could go back in and reschedule for another testing date without having to wait till the next application process. So that's a barrier that we've eliminated from the process. So some individuals there took a couple times to either pass the PT or the written exam, but through their determination and their perseverance, they were hired. They got through the process. And very happy that we have gender diversity for the first time since 2019.
Oh, my goodness.
In Emily Anderson. We've got racial diversity, ethnic diversity. And plus, it's the largest group that I've hired since my time with the city in 2016 in one time.
Well, good job.
That's a team effort. It took not only human resources, but the police department and communications and getting the word out in social media here at City Hall and everyone talking about our process. So I'm looking to hire maybe another 7. Probably my most that I'll be able to hire in one given time is probably 7 to 8. Just based on once they come back from the academy, they have to go into the FTO program, and probably 7 to 8 is our maximum capacity in being able to have capacity for the FTOs, the trainers, in being able to have that big of a group.
So what does FTO mean again?
Field training officer, FTO. So that's the essentially the 3 to 4 month process that they go through once they come back from the police academy. So 16 weeks at the academy, then they go into the FTO program, which is intensive, some classroom training once they get back. Then they're in squads with FTOs who are scoring pretty much and monitoring and coaching their every move. And they go through 4 different officers. They start with 1 primary. Then after about 3 weeks, they go to a second. Then they go to a third. And then they go back to the primary. So it's kind of a full circle, but they get to learn from different FTOs, different styles, different mannerisms, different techniques, skills, capabilities. So it's a pretty intensive And then once they get through that, then they're solo.
Okay.
And then they've got probably another, 3 months until they're off probation, because they're on probation for the first 1 year. So it's a very comprehensive, long process. But 2 weeks ago, we attended the graduation of the 4 that just graduated the academy. So we just had 4 back that are about to start the FTO program. So that was good. So I definitely think we've turned the corner when it comes to actual looking at, oh,
I cannot recognize her.
Who?
I don't know, some lady trying to open the door, but I couldn't recognize her.
Oh, absolutely, you can come on in, yeah. I can go ahead and introduce you too. Didn't know you were coming today. I'm Scott. My name is Leslie. Leslie, nice to meet you. Come on in.
Hello.
Hello.
if you want to have a seat like right here, so I can do a quick introduction. So Leslie Wilson will be officially joining the Affirmative Action Commission at our next meeting. She will be approved by City Council next Wednesday. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, or?
Yes.
Don't want to put you on the spot,
Yes, sir,
but
no, not at all. My name is Leslie Wilson. I came from Sioux City, Iowa to Davenport. Me and my children reside here. I moved here about a year and a half ago. I came here through an abusive relationship, and we have moved here, been here since.
My nephew is a pastor in Sioux City.
Really? In Mount Zion?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Jeremy.
Yes.
He works with the police department.
Yes, he does.
He's
Outstanding. Yeah, because there's only 2 black churches that's in Sioux City, and that's Mount Zion and Pastor Mosley's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good stuff.
it's a small world.
There.
Yes, I don't know a lot about Davenport. I have been here for a while. I am a CNA CMA. I work here in the Quad area. I just left Harmony of Bettendorf. I mean, not Bettendorf, Harmony of Old Manicare, ProMedica. I just started at Bettendorf Health. I have 10 children and 9 grandkids. All of them are
children.
grown. Yes, I've been with their
No,
father.
you're not that old.
I know, I'm 40,
Yeah.
I'm 41. I've been with their dad since I was 13, and I left him at 39. I've worked throughout COVID. I've seen so much, you guys. I love to help people. I'm here for encouragement. I've seen a lot. Like I said, I came here through domestic, and I've stayed at the domestic shelters. I've seen a lot of things. I'm very familiar with just a little bit of the town since I've been here, and I think I can help the best way I can. I also know a couple, I'm friends with Mr. Kelly, Ralph Kelly.
That's my son.
Yes. And I know his mother is on the council as well. So I was like, did Miss Kelly do it? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, did Miss Kelly do it? Me and Royal is really good friends. And I didn't know, I'm like, who did this? And then I'm really good friends with your cousin who is on the council as well, Miss, when she first moved here, we went over to her house and helped set up some stuff. What is her name? Oh, come on. I just seen it on the roster at Davenport, the Davenport committee today. It's your cousin. What is her name?
My cousin.
Yes, it's your cousin, and she's also on the committee. She just moved here from Iowa City, Des Moines. She just moved here from Des Moines. Oh my goodness, what is her name? Let me go on.
Beverly County.
Miss Bev. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
She moved here because, her dad has passed away and she has a brother, he.
Correct.
And so she come to protect her mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and we sings in the choir together, and
Outstanding.
she works from home.
Yeah, but I heard you were sick for a while with a bad hip and,
No, my psychiatric nerve, so.
yeah, something pertaining to, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But,
And I kept saying, Ralph, if she needed help, let her, I'm there. And he was like, she's
oh,
okay,
he's in
she's going through
everything, yeah,
therapy.
he came down last
He
night.
just, I know, well, I don't know about that, but I know he just, he got all of the pantries in
Yeah, we
the
got the pantries at JV, yeah.
outstanding. And I told him yesterday, him and Roy went out or whatever, and I was like, if you need help, just let me know.
Yeah, he's the quiet one. He's a minister and he has done well in the Quad City. Cause we used to give out food outside. And I knew TJ Snickclough, who is the superintendent now. And so I told him, the people don't want to be standing outdoors getting stuff out of boxes. So now they go inside of JB and they can get what they want.
So another reason for me being here is that, excuse me, I think I have I don't know about how the affirmative committee work, but I know that if it's something worth giving back to and meeting different people in different aspects of life. So when I went over to Miss Bev's house, I've seen a lot of tremendous things with the president and things of that nature, and it interests me. So I'm like, okay, I want to do it. I don't know if you did it, Miss Bev did it, Ralph did it, or who did it, and I appreciate it. Because I put in this application about 5-6 months ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm bored. I don't really have anything to do. I work a lot, I do work a lot, but other than work, it's like boredom. So,
Sure. Well, excellent.
but now I do have my kids back, but I still want to do this.
Well, good.
Small world, isn't
It is, yeah. Yeah. So one of the things I did share with everyone, and you've got one too, is the meeting schedule for 2024. So we meet every other month, okay, at 4:00 on a Thursday here in council chambers. We're always audio and video recorded because it's a public meeting. But you'll notice that we had one meeting that fell on July 4th. So rather than, it's very difficult to find another meeting time in this room so we can record and be audio and video recorded. So I just canceled that one, okay? So we will not meet you're not coming down here on the 4th of July because we'll actually be closed. But we got 4 other dates this year, March, May, September, and November. So that's just for your reference. Does anyone want me to do an Outlook calendar? Or does anyone use Outlook calendar? I know I do here at the city, most of us do.
I do Google, Gmail, but
Okay.
you know what, you've given, for me at least, I speak for myself, you've given this to me.
Okay.
I'm just going to go enter it right away.
Is that
Me
okay?
too, I
Thank
just
you.
put it month by
Yeah.
month, and then
Okay.
Yeah, I
it
appreciate it though.
holler at me, say you got a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
One update that, not only am I the affirmative action liaison for the city, but I'm also the hiring manager for Davenport Police. So I'm near and dear to my heart is the hiring of our police officers. And these were the 7, that we just hired. They're actually in their first week at the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy up in, Camp Dodge in Johnston, Iowa. That's the biggest group that I've hired in one sitting. Prior to that, the last group was 4 officers, but very happy that we've got some gender diversity. Emily is our first female since 2019. And we got some racial and ethnic diversity within that bunch as well. But I think part of that is having the continuous process where I don't have a defined application window. It's pretty much open. And people can apply whenever they want to, and I don't have to, when we're out trying to recruit, I don't have to say, well, applications are gonna open next month on such and such a date. I have to remember when that is. It's just like, applications are open.
So with, don't you have to go through the academy?
Yeah. And that's what they're doing right now. They're at the 16-week academy.
Correct. So don't you have to go through a process with that academy? You have to do it's not an ASVAB test, but it's like a MAPS test?
When is it? Well, the MMPI, the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, yeah, that's a
That is
state
it.
requirement. They all have to take the MMPI.
But don't
and
you have to
pass.
have a certain amount of years of college in order to really? So that is not how Sioux City work.
Sure. Now, the city of Davenport, we used to have, you had to have at least 30 college credits or a year of active military duty,
Correct.
or be a sworn officer. But over the years, we kind of saw that as being a barrier, and very few cities in the state of Iowa and in our Quad Cities region had the educational requirements as such. So we just dropped it back down to high school diploma or GED. And what we found, and initially, I'm a big proponent of education. I'm a big proponent of higher education, but I understand that that is a barrier for some people. So initially, I was a little resistant to just going back to high school diploma or GED. But the one thing that happened that really opened my eyes, and it was like, okay, I think what we did is actually a good thing, is we got a lot of individuals who went right from high school into the job market, back into the day. Any field or industry, manufacturing, farming, construction, whatever it was. And at some point, they had a calling to protect and serve. And initially, they didn't go into military, they didn't go into college, they went right into the workforce. So they would not have been eligible with our previous qualifications. But now they are. So we have several new officers over there that have this lived experience that's priceless. They have this maturity. They're a little bit older, they're maybe late 30s, early 40s, but they come in with this wisdom of life, which we weren't capturing before because we had these other requirements. So we were missing that element. So I've converted my thought process on that we're still getting a lot of applicants that have either master's degrees, they're working towards their associates or bachelors, across the board, but we're also getting these second career individuals, which I think is priceless.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a long process. You have to, as you know, the first test, after you apply, you have to pass the physical ability test. So they have to be able to do the appropriate amount of sit-ups, push-ups, and the 1.5 mile run, and that's a state requirement. After they pass that, they have to take the written examination, which is a state requirement. So then after they pass that, then they're in the background phase, where we do a deep dive into their background and polygraph, make sure that they're actually who they are and are they good people.
So, when you do that, how far do you go back from childhood on up? Cause
Oh, yeah,
some,
we go back as
so you
far
got
as
to
we
be
can.
squeaky clean.
Not necessarily squeaky clean, because, yeah, if you did something maybe when you were in high school,
Well, that's what I'm talking
but,
about.
since then, you've grown up and you don't do that anymore, no big deal.
Well, you know what? I've never really gotten in trouble, but I mean, I've only had a DUI. That's it. That's it.
And for our process, if it's outside the last 5
It
years,
was in 2016.
you'd be fine, yeah. It's 5 years, we go back for DUIs, can't have any DUIs within the last 5 years.
But well, since you said that, I had a DUI in 2016, but I've traveled throughout COVID because I went contracts, and I got pulled over in like little rural areas. So then they actually suspended me, lifted well, I'm currently still on it because I have a breathalyzer in my car from a charge from 2016. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm not sure exact
It was
specifics yet.
crazy
Yeah.
because I didn't understand it myself. I only ever had one DUI, and it was in
Yeah.
2016. Throughout COVID, I got maybe pulled over twice. Coming throughout the rural areas. I worked throughout the state of Iowa, and I paid my fines. But the one I was in,
Little hick town, huh?
it was in right outside of Council Bluff. It was a little small town outside of Council Bluff, and I got pulled over. And when I'm in rural areas, I carry my weapon with me because I'm by myself. And I went into the bathroom not knowing that I forgot that I had my weapon on me, but I had on my uniform. So I was fully uniformed, and I was like, excuse me, I have to use the bathroom, but I am concealed. And I ran into the restroom and came back out. By the time I got back out, the police was outside, and they pulled me over on my way to work. And when they pulled me over, they said that they ran my tags, and I was suspended. gave me a charge. They dropped it though, because I have my license, but it was just the principle of it.
But then after the background and polygraph phase, where we do a deep dive, you don't have to be squeaky clean, you know, and we always look at what's been the growth path, you know, have you learned, have you, you know, paid your dividends, and then the interview process, then they get the offer of employment, and then that's really much like half the hiring process, because then they have to go through the MMPI, take the personality inventory, that's post job offer, and then do the pre-employment physicals and health screening and stress test, through our Genesis Occupational Health, because they have to make sure, that they're, you know, physically able to, and healthy enough to do the job, because that's a requirement of the academy. Then they have to do the, PT test again, the sit-ups, the push-ups, and the mile-and-a-half run at the academy before they even start. So there's a lot of steps in this process. Then they get to the academy, 16 weeks, and then they come back for about the 3 to 4 month process for additional training, and then they're solo. So
What if you don't want to be a police officer? You just want to be in that field, like.
we have civilian positions, you know, we have
Correct.
civilian crime scene technicians. We have civilian, what we call police services generalist, PSGs for short. They're they work in the records bureau, and they handle some non-emergency calls for the department. Those are civilian positions. We have a civilian crime analyst. We have a civilian digital forensic technician. We're actually right now in the hiring process for a civilian gun crime data analyst, kind of another crime analyst position. That's a civilian. So about, 25 civilian positions within the department.
Stuff.
Yeah, 167 sworn officers. So there's a lot going on. And in the current hiring process, I've got about 38 that are testing with us, or going to be testing with us over the next month and a half or so. Working towards the next academy, which is in the end of April. So hoping to hire another good bunch of individuals to go to the next academy at the end of April. And then the next academy after that is in August. So then just kind of keep marching down. One thing I did share, I think some of you got this in the past, but the total compensation, our starting salary for a police officer, a sworn police officer, 65,600. But with the additional incentives that they may be eligible for, they could be making just under 80,000 in the first year. After 4 years, they could be making just under 95,000. And this is all because of the brand new contract, which started in July of 23. So it's a 4-year contract, so.
Well, I really feel like me being in Iowa for a long time, it's hard to be Black here in Davenport, and especially to be a police officer here in Davenport. How many Black police officers do you have in the
So black police officers, I think there's probably 9.
9 out of 170?
About 167, yeah, oh yeah, it's,
167, you have 9 officers
and I think probably I have about 8 females, roughly.
and 1 male.
I
Out of that,
don't
how
ever
many is
see
the
them.
Latina group?
Huh?
I don't ever see them.
Oh, the police, you could go to West High School, Curtis Carter's up he's at SRO. Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but that's why I said I never.
ones are on night shift because they don't have seniority yet to be on
Oh, okay.
Days.
days or,
Yeah.
but we've got some Asian officers, we have a Vietnamese officer. So we're getting there, and this commission has helped. It's not only through our personal networks, but it's our professional networks, and it's the work that we do with the NAACP and LULAC. It's just we try to cast our net wide, as wide as we can.
So what is the affirmative committee? What is your overall, what basically is it just for employment purposes? What do you
It's,
specialize in?
I'll share the actual, city code language with you. I don't have it right here, but it's essentially to help increase the diversity of the city. And I speak a lot about the police department because that's where I have the biggest impact myself, but it's in every department. It's not only in police, but it's fire, it's public works, it's our laborers, it's our streets and sanitation crews. It's here at City Hall. It's our libraries. So every aspect, any way that we can, I guess, speak about the good that is happening at the city,
Contractors.
contractors,
Contractors
Yeah.
for city works,
yeah.
you know, yeah.
And we just hired Latricia up in, she's one of the new admin assistants. She's African-American female.
Who?
Her name is Latricia, and I can't remember her last name.
She works upstairs?
She works upstairs, yep. Yep. She just started a week and a half ago, so she's brand new.
Yeah, that brand new, yeah.
Yeah, very brand new. So we'll continue to beat the drum. We'll continue to work our social and personal and professional networks and have those conversations out in the community. We'll be reviewing the plan at an upcoming meeting. You know, we have an inclusion and equity plan for the city that kind of lays out some of the steps that we are attempting to take to increase the diversity. It is actually due for renewal for in '24, so we'll be reviewing that, adding to it as necessary. And plus, I need to update
You all
the,
work with, workforce, things of that nature.
we've spoken a lot at different workforce events. They'd love to have, especially when it comes back to police officers, they love for us to come back in and talk, especially with either the police chief or uniformed officers, to talk about the job of being a police officer. And, you know, if there's an interest, we've done that same thing for firefighters and some of our laborer positions as well.
Do you all work with other committees on other suggestions?
We have in the past, yeah. We've been close, in the past, worked closely with civil rights on different initiatives and different ways to get the word out. We work closely with city council on their initiatives and their thoughts, yeah. It's an open process.
Chair, with the permission of the chair, if I might jump in to what you just said about, you know, opening initiatives, to share something with you all, is it recently, I work at St. Ambrose, by the way, and this is my second term of 7 years on the commission. So just recently, in the month of October, I spoke with Andrew Harris, our friend, Sergeant Harris, who conducts coffees with the cop and everything, you know, goes out, outreach, everything. Wonderful gentleman is our police officer here. And at Ambrose, I'm a librarian there, and at Ambrose, we did the very first coffees and donuts with the cop inside the library. And it was a huge hit. We had more than 50 people who came.
Is Ambrose the library that sits across over
No,
here?
that's the Danforth Public Library, and I will get you a library card right away if you don't have one.
I do have one.
Good.
I just don't really, I mean, when I first got out here, I used to go to the library a little bit, but I work too much.
And you know, it's not just the library there, you are going to get lots of other things too, you know, if you need help with anything else, it could be computers, it could be understanding how to make use of any kind of electronic equipment. If you want a sewing machine, you can get that, if you want a GoPro, you can get that, you know, so
Where's Aubrey? Did you say?
St. Ambrose University is a university, which is like 150
Oh,
years
right
old.
here
Yeah.
on Locust.
Yes, correct. So I'm a librarian there. And so I arranged for that, and I had donuts, we had coffee, and it was basically open. And the reason I want to share this with you all is it has had a huge impact. This is the first time that Danforth Police came to a university or any kind of an educational institution. We had 12 police officers, chief, major, I know, and we had talked about it. We had almost all the detectives on the force there. And the beauty, what we observed, me and my colleagues observed when we were arranging, is students came to talk with them. And, you know, they had a chat. They talked to Captain Emming about, you know, employment, what could we do? And I think Emily is from Ambrose.
She is, she
Emily
just
is from Ambrose.
graduated.
She
Yep.
couldn't come that day,
Yep.
you know. So the reason I bring this up is we wanted that youth, that community and they were varied people. When I say very diverse people, from all walks of life. My students who came there were from and it was not just the students, it was the professors. There was the social work department who had a chat. She came and talked to me about some kind of a project they're doing with, family resources and things like that. I said, come on, Chief Bladel, let's talk. They got talking. They're going to have something which would be an internship with the police officers, got to do it. So, what I wanted to share was we had students making inquiries about police jobs, non-police jobs. We had professors inquiring, how can we help? And the chief, as well as Officer Harris, got back saying, well, we've never even had such a huge crowd when we do it at Hy-Vee. It was that huge a crowd. And I want this to happen, so we probably will be doing, because this was our first, so, we will be doing another, which will be during spring, because I want more students to be there and for them to understand. And then and I'll share this with you all next time, maybe I'll send an email to share. I had written a detailed, I was thinking, why is this necessity? And I had shared it with Sergeant Harris and Chief, the reasons why I think would help not just us, but the police as well.
Sure.
It's a two-way street, after all. And it was absolutely approved by both of them. I sent it to the Ambrose president, Dr. Novak. She approved as well. She said, this is fantastic. And our security staff at Ambrose said, these things have to happen because those misunderstandings, how can we reduce not just somebody wanting to go and work as police, but the students understanding that you should have that faith, confidence to approach a police officer or just don't do those bad things.
Yes, so I can say this.
Yeah.
So, I think that's something that's good. I don't know if you all do it here in Davenport, in the quads, but, drive with the cop. Do you all do drive with the cop here in Davenport?
It's not necessarily called that, but anyone who's a citizen, can do a ride-along with an officer.
No, that's not what I'm speaking
Okay.
pertaining to. Okay, well, in Sioux City, they have a program with the police of Davenport where it's a 6-week program, 6 to 8 week program. And they pay, it was $450, it's probably like $550 now. And they take the children that's at the schools who didn't go to the classes, the driver's ed classes at school, and they take them in the morning and take them driving. And it goes towards the police academy, police funding. Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yes, it is. So if they can't get in it through the school programming, they have a programming through the police station where the police drive with a teenager under the age of 18 that's that has their permit. They have to have their permit, and you all drive them around to teach them how to drive.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's something interesting, something that would wing a child into going into the police field,
Yeah, that's fantastic. To segue with that, when you talk about these different outreach opportunities that we have, and this is specific to Davenport schools. So Davenport Schools has what they call their career and college opportunities, the Career Tech Ed. Here they listed 15 different specialties, accounting and financial, automotive technology, aviation, computer science, culinary, construction, welding, all those types of things. The one thing that was missing, public safety. So I contacted the curriculum specialist, kind of just did a cold call and said, have you ever thought of a public safety pathway? Because they call these pathways within high school. And after about 2 weeks, she got back to me and she says, sorry, it took so long for us to get back to you. We ran it up the flagpole in our chain of command, had good conversations, and yes, we are interested in doing a public safety pathway. So not only police, but fire, emergency medical services, dispatching, could be court reporting. So when you talk about public safety, there's a lot of different areas within public safety, sworn and not sworn, the different avenues. So in the 24-25 school year, so not this current school year, but the next one that starts, in August of 24, there is now a public safety pathway. that the students will be able to get part of. And then when they graduate, because usually you're looking at a job at the end of this, that's one of the goals, they could work security for Davenport schools. Because they're not old enough yet to be a police officer, you have to be 21. They're not old enough yet to be a firefighter, you have to be 21, okay? Maybe it could be a dispatcher, I'm not sure what that age, or emergency medical technician possibly. But in the meantime, Davenport schools could hire them as school security to assist with that. So then they got a job, then they can decide if they want to supplement that with Scott Community College or some schooling, or just work, and then get involved with the police explorers or maybe the fire explorers. So that is a pipeline that we're creating from Davenport schools
Yeah.
Good.
to the city, possibly,
So-
somehow.
So something that I've seen as well, that I've seen, my daughter taking fire rescue, fire safety, things of that nature in Sioux City, but when she got here, she only had 4, whatever, quadrants in West. And she was like, well, and they was like, okay, well, we don't offer these programs here. They offer nothing for things of that nature. So that is something good to
coming.
bring to the table.
It's coming, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
is amazing.
for sure. So you have a daughter that's interested in maybe the fire service?
She's already, both my kids, I went to school for EMS.
Okay.
So I'm a CNA,
Sure, yeah.
CNA, CMA.
Okay,
And EMS, I went to school for EMS, but I didn't finish with my clinicals. I finished half of it, but I had gestational diabetes, so they put me on bed rest and just didn't
Okay,
finish.
yeah.
Anyway, but yes, my son finished his fire rescue class. He's out of high school, and my daughter already started hers. She's already passed both of hers. She's only 17.
Okay.
She did it in 10th grade.
yeah,
Yeah, in 9th grade.
yeah.
My 18-year-old, she graduated, and she's just awesome. She's a pure geek, and she is just so funny. But she stays in Sioux City until she's done with the schooling
Okay.
this semester, then she'll be here.
Well, we do have a fire explorers program, so do you have the one
Yeah,
that's?
now that's her. She's a wrestler and a football player and things of that
Okay.
nature. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
really good. But the
Excellent.
other one, will never do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing a lot of good things.
yeah.
And I think we're making some traction in a lot of different ways. But it takes, just a casting a wide net
That's true.
every time to try to entice. But, lately too, I've had certified police officers in other departments, i.e. Iowa City, Moline, and then others, some officers from Georgia. They're by chance relocating back, or they want to jump across the river from Moline to Davenport. So what's nice about that is an already certified officer, either within the state of Iowa or within another state, doesn't have to go to the 16-week police academy. They can do it by examination. So we can take them and put them right into the FTO program with an officer. So the process is much more streamlined. And we can get them right into a squad with a FTO, and that just saves us the 16 weeks that we're waiting now for the 7 that are up there. There's been an uptick in that as well. And some of that's probably some of the compensation, since we're one of the higher paid departments in the area. This is attractive to some people it's not, Some people want to work for a very busy urban police department. We're very busy, 220 calls every 24 hours, so on average. So there's a lot going on here. Some want to maybe work for smaller departments that aren't as busy, and that's fine
I wouldn't
too.
mind dispatching, but that's it.
Yeah.
There's another student, I think, Scott, he is from Ambrose, and he was going to apply or applied. He's security outside, he's doing his education, and he said, I'm gonna go to Vietnam. He's from Vietnam,
Okay,
so diverse.
yeah.
And so I asked him, I said, no, have you done it? Like, so I think he is going to apply.
Okay,
So I'll catch him.
yeah.
When they come back on June 18th.
What's his first name?
I'm gonna find out. I always
Okay.
get so confused. Wears glasses, a very, very nice gentleman.
Is it An? Is his name
I
An?
think so.
A-N?
Yes.
Armstrong?
Yes.
Yeah, he's applied.
He's applied?
He has applied, yep.
Good. I wanna
So,
ask him.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
wish him.
Yeah, just encourage him.
I'm glad.
And I can send out the upcoming testing dates too,
Yes,
for the
please.
physical ability testing. I know some of you have in the past attended the physical ability
Yeah.
testing. You're more than welcome to see them do or attempt
Still
this.
at Ambrose, Scott,
No, we do the sit-ups and the push-ups we do at the police
at the
department,
police department.
down in the
Okay.
mat
I
room.
saw that,
Yes.
this one girl, oh boy, she was dynamite, them guys was, and she was
Still
working
going,
out.
honey.
I said,
Yeah.
you go, girlfriend.
You know what,
Yeah.
when I wanted to go to the police academy, I was all for it, and honey, I wouldn't even waste my time no more, I'm sorry. I mean, 6 weeks is not hard to be drilled, I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't be a police officer. That's not in my expertise. Now,
Yeah.
something different, yes, of course, maybe it will be considered, but me, so far as in the police field,
We're all on a different path.
yeah.
Sometimes the
Right.
path changes.
More clerical for me, I'm not in that stage.
So next meeting, if I could just say that, so that'll be in, it's gonna be March already, gee, spring, our spring meeting. Ahead of time, you will receive the inclusion and equity plan that, the commission approved, that expired at the end of last year, so we need to approve that, you'll receive that. Be thinking about too, we will need to elect a chair and vice chair, for 2024. Cause I think vice chair was Jasmine,
Yes.
I think she was vice chair, but she's now, of course, on council, so.
So she can't hold two.
She can't be on two, nope, she had to resign from this commission. So,
You guys need a man, think about it.
Amen.
I wasn't, but we need a
Before
man.
you.
it vary, you can continue to do that if that's you so desire, if the commissioner wants you to
Yeah.
maintain as a new vice chair, or we can switch it up. That's for the commission to decide, yeah, that's, those are just got two things that we'll need to be thinking about probably for March.
And just a thought I wanted to share with you all, we've done it long time ago, see what you think, just throwing it, okay? We had once or twice met outside of here, no, we can't do it. When we started taping, we had to sit here. That's the thing,
Now
I
that-
got you,
Yep.
I got you. Yeah,
Yep.
before we didn't have to tape, and that's when we met twice outside.
We did, yeah, that was kinda nice,
Later
but
at
yeah, the
Ambrose
meetings have
once,
to
but we
be,
can't do that, yeah.
to do it outside of this building here, cause it's already set up, we have to have someone monitoring the camera, recording, and that's,
Public library.
city administration's gonna say no, because
Public library.
everything's set up right in here.
Public library, because we have our meetings video too,
Okay,
and we do it,
that could be, yeah,
yeah, just a thought, just
Yeah.
a thought.
okay.
I'm just suggesting,
Girl, I think that you're right, I think
yeah.
that would be nice, that it would be a male, cause it's three of
Yeah,
us.
and, you know, really, because
It really would be.
when, you know, I go before people, they say, well, what are you here for, you know, so.
No, they say, Miss Kelly!
Yeah, well, they do say Miss Kelly when I let them know who I am and whose I am.
They know who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, no, I'm 80 years old, so
That doesn't matter, you do
I-
not look, you do not behave.
I think somebody young need to pull up.
Yep. So, yeah, just a thought, so keep that
Okay,
in mind,
yeah.
all of you, see what you think. And if it is outside, then the public library, we have the same situation where we record our meetings. So
Okay.
that's a possibility, if we, I'm
Okay.
not saying we have to. just-
I can double check with, city communications and see if that's something,
So what is the
Okay.
purpose of recording everything?
because it, then post it online.
Yeah.
This is a public commission, public
Yeah.
meeting, so,
Correct.
yep.
Correct.
Even though we don't have, open comments or commentary, because
So this
don't
meeting
need
that
to.
we're having today, will it be recorded?
it is being
It is
recorded.
being recorded.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're being recorded.
Wow.
Welcome to Davenport.
Acceptable.
I tell you,
Isn't
you
that
gotta come to a
something?
pony show, you come to the city council if they recording all that stuff.
Oh, they
I
are.
know,
They do.
right? I wouldn't even open my mouth. I'm so-
Woo!
Yeah. Just in the interest of time, if you want to go ahead and do a motion to adjourn.
I like for somebody to make a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay.
I second it.
Outstanding.
All right, well, meeting is adjourned to March, and everybody have a good.
You as well. It was so nice
I'm
meeting
happy
you all.
here to you all once again.
Oh, yeah.